Hey there, it's good to see you. Welcome to a double update for I'm on a no-buy. I totally ran out of time in August, and so we're going to kind of do August and September. As far as August went, I did break my no-buy for one eyeshadow single, so I don't feel bad. I happened to be walking around Ulta, and I saw this shade, and it's been something that I gravitated towards ever since I was a little girl, so when I saw it, it had to come home. Just had to come home. So I purchased the NYX eyeshadow single in the shade Mermaid. I've always been attracted to aqua, teal colors like this. It's just been kind of a subconscious thing in my brain. I actually don't own anything like this in my collection. So when I passed by it, my brain was just like, red flags, everything was going off. I just had to come home with it. But this is a beautiful shade if you're trying to achieve kind of an aqua green look. You don't want to spend a lot of money. NYX has great eyeshadow quality and pigmentation for very affordable prices. I cannot speak today. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, I could pair this with neutral shadows. I can do colorful looks with this. And on top of it, one of my friends she's into makeup, but she's not into the crazy bold colors. She bought a couple of eyeshadows and lip products that she was just looking at, and she was like, Amber, they're way too bold. And so we ended up swapping a couple of items, and one of the things that I ended up with from her was this Urban Decay eyeshadow single in the shade Solstice. It's kind of like that MAC Boom Boom Room from the Dazzle shadows that came out this past summer. It's really, really beautiful, and it works really well with this Mermaid shadow. So technically I didn't break my no-buy for this because I traded several of my just neutral everyday singles that she was more comfortable with for this shadow. And then she also swapped me for this, what is this? The CoverGirl Lip Lava in the shade Look It's Lava. I was really curious to try these because Ashley, or Texas Mommy of Boys, was talking about these, comparing them to the Chanel Glossomers. So I thought that would be really fun to try. And also too, I had to downsize a lot of my lip glosses when I decluttered my lip products because they were flat out expired. So I wore this in one of my Instagram photos several weeks ago, back in August, right after I got it, because I love the combination together. The only thing is, if you are curious about trying these really intense glittery shadows, if you have hooded lids, be careful with stuff like this, because I noticed that throughout the day as I wore Solstice, I really had issues with it transferring glitter all over my face, and it actually irritated my eyes because the glitter was all over the place. I've had problems with the MAC Dazzle shadows for that very same reason. So just kind of tip of the day, you might want to go on and use something like MAC Fix Plus on top of an eyeshadow primer if you are going to wear the glittery shades like this, so that you don't have to worry about grit and things getting into your eye. Because I mean, seriously, it was itchy, and it's not like I had an allergic reaction. It was just when I looked in the mirror later in the day, I had glitter, all over the bottom of my, tops of my cheekbones, and it was kind of all over the place because it just didn't stay in place like 7-8 hours into wearing that eyeshadow. So that's that. Now, as far as September, I did well. I did not break my no-buy. I did buy the Sonia Kashuk version of the NARS Ita brush, but I don't count that as breaking my no-buy because honestly, I don't buy a lot of makeup brushes. I use them till they fall apart, and so the NARS Ita brush was something I've been looking at for a very long time, and when the Sonia Kashuk version came out, I could not pass up the opportunity. And then I've also had to finally start purchasing things like foundation primer, and I'm going to have to start repurchasing like translucent setting powders because I finally eliminated my backup stash in those areas. So woo, it feels good. It feels so good. In fact, as we get into talking about September, I did really well this month because there's something so cathartic about talking project panning and putting out, you know, the makeup collector tag and starting to talk about collecting versus hoarding, because it really helps to clear my mind of a lot of the distractions when I go shopping. And I've realized that I haven't even had the urge the past month to buy makeup, and that is so freeing. And I know that it's a hugely in part to starting to talk about collecting versus hoarding. So the other thing that really made an impression on me is back in August, it was the end of July, was when I decluttered a bunch of lip products. And number one, I needed to, because I had a lot of things that were expired. They needed to go. And, I think I remember quoting around that time that I got rid of about $518.15 in lip products for the most part. Not everything was expired. In fact, I'm waiting to put that in the next traveling makeup box swap, and then everything else I just chucked that needed to go because they were expired. But I thought that since I'm on such a good momentum, I want to keep it going for the month of October, and so I've been totaling up all of my empties that I finish, eyeshadow included, and that total as of today of what I have finished, I am close to 100 items at this point. I have not finished everything for the 13 by Halloween challenge, so that number is going to go up again. But my rough total right now of what I finished is $899.83. So, huge reality check. Just, ugh. In total, from what I've used up and what I've destashed from my collection, I have a grand total of $1,417.98 that is no longer lying around my bedroom, my closet, or my bathroom. That feels good. It feels so good, because it's just like every product that I'm using is just freeing up not just physical space, but it's freeing up mental and creative space, and it feels so good. So I wish you all the best as far as your I'm on a no buys, or if you're on low buys. Whoa, my nose is itchy. But I wish you all the best, because when you really sit down and look at these hard numbers, it is the most motivating thing to change your spending habits. And then as you have success panning products, it really helps get you motivated to just use your collection. And in fact, if you're wanting to be inspired, because that's one thing I love watching videos where people are going back into old stuff. Like that girl Shay has been doing palettes on Thursdays where she goes back into forgotten palettes and she'll do looks. Like her most recent one was with the the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, and she's done other things, and it's like people using their stash it's so inspiring over the urge to buy new makeup. So keep those videos coming. I'm loving it. Thank you for all of your updates on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. I am trying to get the hang of Snapchat. I promise I will get it one of these days, but it's just, all this technology is a lot to keep up with on top of having a family. So, that's it for now. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best. So that's it for now. Be on the lookout. I've got lots of content coming your way, so I'll be seeing you very soon. Bye.